Imagine walking through a quiet field filled with flowers, while thousands of tiny creatures fly from plant to plant all day long. To humans, it just looks like bees collecting nectar, but hidden inside the hive, something incredible is happening. Because bees are not simply gathering food, they are manufacturing honey, one of nature's most fascinating survival creations. It all begins with flowers. Worker bees fly across huge areas searching for nectar, a sweet liquid produced by plants. Using their long, tongue-like mouthparts, bees suck nectar from flowers and store it inside a special stomach called the honey stomach. But here's where things become strange. The nectar inside the bee begins changing immediately. Special enzymes inside the bee's body start breaking down the complex sugars in the nectar into simpler sugars. This transformation is important because it helps create the thick, golden honey we know. Once the bee returns to the hive, it passes the nectar to another worker bee mouth to mouth. It may sound disgusting to humans, but this process helps the nectar transform even further. Bee after bee continues processing the liquid until it slowly becomes thicker and richer. Then the bees place the liquid into tiny hexagon-shaped honeycomb cells made from wax. But the honey still isn't ready yet. Fresh nectar contains too much water. If bees stored it like that, it could spoil or ferment. So the hive begins working together. Thousands of bees rapidly flap their wings inside the hive to create airflow. This helps evaporate excess water from the nectar. Slowly, the liquid becomes thicker, stickier, sweeter, honey. Once the honey reaches the perfect consistency, bees seal the honeycomb cell with wax like a tiny storage container. This honey becomes emergency food for the colony, especially during winter when flowers disappear. And what makes this even more incredible is how much work is required to make a small amount of honey. A single bee may visit thousands of flowers in one day, and collectively, bees must travel enormous distances just to produce one jar of honey. Some scientists estimate bees may fly distances equal to circling the Earth while producing enough honey for a colony, which means every spoon of honey represents massive teamwork, communication, and survival. But bees do far more than make honey. As they move between flowers collecting nectar, they accidentally spread pollen from plant to plant. This process is called pollination, and without pollination, many plants, fruits, and crops would struggle to survive, which means bees quietly help feed entire ecosystems, including humans. Yet despite their importance, bee populations in some places are declining because of habitat loss, pesticides, and environmental changes. And that worries scientists around the world because without bees, nature itself could begin changing dramatically. Tiny creatures, tiny wings, but one of the biggest jobs on Earth. So the next time you see honey dripping from a spoon, remember this golden liquid began as flower nectar carried by thousands of bees working together for survival. Comment the name of an animal you want Dr. Geo to talk about next, and subscribe for more hidden secrets from the animal kingdom.